Hey Floss Tube, this is Brian. Welcome back. This is my 65th Floss Tube video, and I plan on sharing with you what I have been stitching this week. First of all, I want to welcome you. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope that you enjoy the things that I have to share with you. If you are coming back, thank you for coming back and watching my videos. I really appreciate it. It's been a great week. The weather has been really nice. The heat is broken here, and we have been out of the hundreds and even had a couple of days in the 80s. And we've even had rain. We had a really soaking rain at the beginning of the week, and it's been really nice. It's early. It's early for the heat to break like this. It's not uncommon for us to have hundreds into October, but so far we aren't seeing it. It's kind of looking like we're out of the hundreds. So I'm really celebrating that. It feels nice to have the cool weather come in. The evenings are just perfect around here right now, and I hope it lasts as long as possible. We've been pretty busy this week, so I don't have a whole lot of progress to show you. But I'll show you that when I get to that part. First of all, I want to respond to some comments and questions that were left since my last video. First of all, I want to thank everybody for your concern and encouragement about my arm. I'm not quite sure. I think it's getting better. I don't get sharp pains when I extend it anymore, so the pain's kind of gone away, but I still have a part of my arm that's a little bit swollen and a little bit, well, it doesn't really hurt, but a little bit numb. I think it is tendonitis. I'm going to have it checked out again this week, so we'll see what the verdict is with that. Sue Painter said, regarding my arm, she said that maybe I need to adjust my position when I'm stitching, and I am actually wondering if part of the problem might be my stand that I use to stitch on the table. The reason why I say that is I stitch two-handed with my left hand underneath, and that is the arm that is giving me problems. And I'm wondering if my work is too close to the table, and that makes it so that I kind of do a strange motion when I'm pulling the floss through and down to pull it all the way through. I've kind of experimented this week with different ways of stitching. I tried Vanna's method of not turning the needle and going up and down without turning the needle, except for I tried pushing the needle, the eye side down from the needle down from the top, because I think I have more control when I go from the top down to the bottom. That seemed to work, but it seemed to also cause more wear on my thread. So I have kind of not done that anymore. The other thing I've tried to do is I've tried switching hands. My left hand's my dominant hand, and that's underneath. I've tried switching so that my left hand's on top. That works for a while, and I've gotten better at doing that, but it just feels very unnatural, and my right hand seems to get really tired really fast when I do that. So the other thing I've tried doing is, instead of pulling the floss all the way through when I put the needle down, instead of pulling the floss all the way through, I've tried putting the needle back up and then tensioning the floss as I pull it back up, and that seems to be the best option so far. I think that would also, if I get used to that, I think that would also kind of speed me up, because I wouldn't be spending so much time pulling all the floss through on both going up and going down. Anyway, like I said, I don't know if it's my stitching. I also do a lot of typing at work, so it could be typing. I don't think it's carpal tunnel, because it's not on, my paint is not on the inside of my hand. It's on the outside, and I don't think, so it's the tendons coming on the outside of the wrist, not down through here. So I don't think it's carpal tunnel, but who knows? I also do a lot of typing, so maybe I've done something typing. Anyway, we'll see what happens with that. Madeline Evans said, with regards to 101 alphabets, which is this design that I showed I'd started last week, she said she wondered if it'd be okay to like just choose some of the motifs and some of the alphabets and make a smaller sampler. And I think that would be a great idea if you're not up to stitching all of this. Maybe you could make your own sampler with some of the alphabets. One of the things that Karen Kluba says in all of her instructions is be creative. And I don't think if you've seen a Rosewood Manor pattern, you probably know this, but in addition to the main design that she publishes, she also publishes a lot kind of little small designs that you can kind of use as ideas for other things to stitch. So if you don't like this size, you could either, I think there's a smaller sampler in here, or I think you could probably design your own sampler using a few of the alphabets and motifs that are in here. That's not, so I think that would be a great idea if you didn't want to stitch the whole thing. Crafty Kim asked me, she asked me to make sure if the fabric that I've used for 101 alphabets is big enough. And I am pretty confident that it is. I am working across the bottom as fast as I can to make sure. But when I start a project, the first thing I always do, and I did it with this one too, even though it was so big, is I found the center of the piece, and then I counted over to the left edge, and then I counted down to the corner. And so I am pretty confident that I have enough fabric to stitch this, because I've already counted across and down from the center, and I know that because of that, just because of simple geometry, that if I go from the center and I find this, that I should have the same margins all the way around my fabric. So I'm pretty confident that there's enough fabric there. So anyway, Mira Schneier, oh, sorry Mira if I mispronounced your name, Mira Schneer asked me about my sampler Afghan, how it was coming along. And I think I mentioned this before. I finished all the squares, and I haven't mentioned it because I haven't really been working on it all that much. I started weaving in ends. I have hundreds and hundreds of ends to weave in, and I actually started doing that and got a little bit discouraged. That is my least favorite part of knitting, is weaving in ends, and there are a ton of ends to weave in. So I've got the ends, I've done about maybe 15 squares. So I've still got a long ways to go to get all the ends woven in. And then I'm going to have to block my squares and then decide how I'm going to stitch a border around each square. So I don't know. It'll get done sometime, but it's not a priority for me right now. Stephanie Hayashida said, with regards to my giveaway and the Red House sampler, she said maybe when I started, I could start a stitch along. And I am always, if any of you want to stitch anything that I am working on, you are more than welcome to start and stitch along with me. Just let me know. I don't plan on starting a Facebook group, but I would be more than happy to plan an Instagram hashtag that we can share for a stitch along. I forgot to mention with 101 alphabets, there is a stitch along for this piece that is being run by Deborah, AZ Needleworker. She started hers, and she's also started a Facebook group. So there's a Facebook group for this one that I have joined. She says you can join it to either stitch or just to observe the madness. And I've joined that group. Yeah, so that would be available also if you want to join that. So that would be, if you wanted to stitch that with me, you'd be joining in with the already ongoing stitch along. But if there's anything that I'm working on that there isn't a stitch along for, let me know and we can set something up. I've had several people with that Red House Sampler say they would like to stitch it with me. So maybe when I start it, I will. Maybe when I start it, I will do a stitch along. Anne Lefevre asked me if I invented diagonal stitching or did somebody teach me. And if you are in the knitting world, you may have heard of Elizabeth Zimmerman. And one of the things that she used to say was that she didn't invent things, she invented them. She said that because she didn't feel like she would be the first one to come up with a technique, that somebody must have done it somewhere before. I kind of feel that way with diagonal stitching. So I saw a couple of Russian stitchers that had videos that were stitching diagonally, and I basically decided that I wanted to do that, so I figured out how to do that myself. So I don't know that I'd say that I invented it. I did get the idea, and then I came up with my own way of stitching diagonally. I think that there have been a lot of people who have basically taken what I learned and have run with it. It's really becoming quite popular. There are a lot of people who are stitching diagonally now, and it's kind of fun to see. Basic Nail Stamping asked me about my daughter's cross stitch. She is working on Happy Camper, which is a design by Lori Holt of It's So Emma. I haven't received an update from her for a while, but I think a couple of weeks ago she told me that she'd finished the top border and that she needed to stitch the bottom border. So I am sure that when she finishes it, she'll probably send me a picture to say, hey, I finished. I think she's working on it. She doesn't have a lot of time to stitch during the week. She told me that she was kind of stitching on Sunday afternoons. So yeah, I'm sure that when she finishes it, she'll let me know, and she'll probably send me a picture, and then I'll share it with you guys. It's kind of fun to watch her, have her decide that she wants to stitch. So, okay. The other thing is, last week I announced a giveaway, and today I want to announce the winners of my giveaway. I want to thank everybody for participating. I had a lot of people who wanted to enter the drawings for all of these, for these 3 charts, and I am so glad that you would like to participate in this giveaway. So the first design that I am giving away is this one. It's Lydia Barnes Pigeon 1827 by Scattered Seed Samplers. And the winner of this design is Meezer Meow Me. And I'll put the name up on the chart so you can see that. So congratulations. Congratulations on winning that. The second design that I am giving away is Red House Sampler by the Sampler Company. It's Brenda Keys. And the winner of the Red House Sampler is Marlene Churchill. So Marlene, congratulations. Congratulations, I am happy that you won that. And the final design that I gave away is Feliz Navidad by Blackbird Designs. And The winner of this chart is Moonbow Eve. So congratulations. The three of you, if you will either send me an email. My email is in the comments below, or you can also DM me on Instagram. If you want to send me your address, I will get these charts sent out to you. Once again, thank you everybody for celebrating with me in reaching 4,000 subscribers, and thank you for participating in my giveaway. It's been great fun. Okay. So I have one other thing that I want to talk to you about. I was contacted a couple of weeks ago by a representative of a Russian cross-stitch company. It's a company called Mirkrusticom. I don't know if I'm putting the emphasis on the syllables right for that, but Mirkrusticom, they sell cross-stitch kits in Russia, and they have wanted to get more of a following outside of Russia, so they have started an Etsy store, and I will put a link to this store down below. They asked me if I would like to choose a couple of kits from the lines that they carry, and that I could use to review. So I went through I went through all of their entire site looking at cross-stitch kits, and I found several that I would love to stitch, and I gave them a list and said, you can send me any of these and I'll be happy with them. At any rate, I have received a couple of kits from them that I want to share with you, and I'm excited to receive these and work on them. The first is called, on the package, in English, it says this is called Caustic Beauty. On their website, they called it Prickly Beauty, I believe. And it's a picture. It's a picture of roses, and there's raspberries and blackberries, and then there's a little hedgehogs kind of hidden in here. And I really like this. I really like this one. I think this company's name is Oben, and it's a cross-stitch kit. I can see that it has a needle. This is 16 count Ada, I believe. I can't see the floss, but I know there's floss in here. So I haven't opened this up yet. I wanted to show it to you like this. So there's this kit, and the other kit that they sent me is this, and I'm really excited about this. This is one of those designs, kind of like my Verandas of South Battery, that's a long, narrow design. This is called Victorian Promenade, and I think the name of this company in English is Warmth of Your Hands. So at least that's I can see that on the back in English over here. And this also comes with 16 count Ada. It looks like the chart is color, and there's all the floss. I really like these colors. They're really, really bright colors, so I'm excited to work on this. And it's basically a bunch of Victorian houses along a riverbank, mountains in the background, and there's even what did you call that? A lift to take you up to the top of the mountains over here. So yeah, I'm really excited to work on this, and I'll have to start it this time sometime. So I will link to the shop below. I also have a discount code for you. So if you use the code blitstitch in your order, you will receive 10% off your order. And that discount code is valid until December 31st, 2019. And so until the end of the year, you can use that code to get 10% off your order. Go check them out. They have lots of kits. They have I had a hard time choosing things. They had a lot of stuff that I would love to stitch. I've come to really like the kind of the Russian aesthetics of some of their kits. They also sell Alforest. Alforest is available on their site, and they also have Riolas, a lot of the Russian kits that you're kind of familiar with, that people have been stitching. So you can check them out if you want to. And I plan on starting one of these kits soon. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about what I've been working on this week. If you remember, last week I spun 4 seasons. So I'll show you what I've been doing with 4 seasons. Of course, this is a design by Modern Folk Embroidery. It was the mystery stitch along for 2018 that he designed, and I have really enjoyed working on it. I'll insert a picture here of what it looked like the last time you saw it. I am stitching this on 35 count Classic I'm stitching this on 35 count Classic Homespun by R&R, and I'm stitching using, for Floss, I am using Silks4U PR175, which is a nice royal blue color, a nice deep blue, with a little bit of tonal variegation. It's been a busy week for us, and of course, as I mentioned before, I'm kind of taking it slow with my stitching right now. So I don't have as much progress as I would usually have. We had a couple of nights, we actually had 3 nights this week that I wasn't able to stitch because of other commitments. And so, yeah, I'm happy with what I've accomplished, but it's not as much as I would normally have done. So this is what it looks like now. So if you remember, the last time you saw this, I only had this crown stitched. So I stitched this basically wreath of leaves and this flower that's in the middle, and then there were some of these motifs along the sides that I also filled in. So I'll give you a little bit closer look so that you can see it a little bit better. Like I say, I'm happy with this, and this, as always, this looks really, really cool to me. I really enjoyed working on it, even though I haven't stitched as much as I would have liked. That flower is pretty cool. And I haven't mentioned it before, but I had a couple of missing stitches over here as well that I've known about them for like several months, and I always noticed that they were missing like when I finished with it, and I think, oh, I'll get that the next time I pick this up, and then I forget about them again, but I remembered them. So there's a couple of stitches that I put in here that make this look a lot better as well. So yeah, I really enjoy this piece, and I'm looking forward to working on it again, of course. There's a butterfly here that I'm excited to work on, a big heart here, and then a couple of big half Quaker motifs right here. And then once I do those, I'll be ready to stitch summer. So I think I got good progress. I just have a couple of motifs to stitch, and then I'll be about halfway through this one as well. So yeah, I like looking at it through the camera because it just looks really, really cool. It's nice to see the whole thing. So yeah, so that's what I've been working on this week. And like I say, I'm excited to work on it some more. So let's spin the wheel and see what I'm going to work on next week. So I'm just waiting for it to start up. Here we are. Here's my wheel. We'll spin it and see what I get. And as always, I don't know if I'm going to get a repeat. If I do, then I will spin it again. I have 3 projects left. 3 projects left to get through this rotation. So we'll give it a spin and see what happens. So here it goes. A Savior's Praise. Okay, that's a repeat. That was the first piece that I stitched for my rotation. So I'm going to give it another spin. New Start, another repeat. You'll notice A Savior's Praise is grayed out. So we'll get this. The Winter Garden, that is not a repeat. Okay, good. I am excited to work on this. The Winter Garden. Okay, so if you remember, that is a design. I'm just going to look through here. The Winter Garden is a design by the Drawn Thread. And I have stitched this 2 weeks so far. And I think I finished the house last time. We'll see it in just a minute. So I'm over here back in the plants and more specialty stitches again. Yeah, I really like this piece, and it's actually kind of stitches up really quickly. So I don't know if I'm going to have a finish with this week. It kind of depends on how much time I have and how my arm's doing, I guess. So, here it is. I'll give you a picture of what it looks like right now. So yeah, I was right. The last time I worked on it, I finished the house. That big house is finished. Yeah, you know, I pull a piece out and it's like that. I see it and I think, yes, I want to work on this again. That looks really cool. That house looks awesome. So I'm going to be working over here. I think there's like 3 or 4. There are like 3 or 4 different plants that need to be stitched to get over here. Like I say, I don't know if I will finish this, but I think I will get close. So yeah, so I am excited to be working on this week. It'll be a great it will be a great thing to work on. Yeah, so we'll be working on the Winter Garden this week. So that's all I have to show you. Just an update. I will probably not be doing a video next week. I'm going to be pretty busy and have some other things going on. So we do not plan on seeing a video from me. And we will we'll take care of that. At any rate, you can always follow my daily progress on Instagram. Even though I'm not doing a video next week, I will probably spin my wheel again, and I will be working on a different project. It just won't be on camera when I do it. So we'll see what comes up next week as well. But you can follow all of my progress on Instagram. I am at blitstitch on Instagram. As always, feel free to like this video. Feel free to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I hope that you continue to have a great week. I'm always glad to hear from you and hear your comments, and will respond to any questions that I receive from you to the best of my ability. At any rate, I hope that you have a great week, and we will talk to you later. Goodbye.